Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprophet.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey, and I guess we're here to talk about Week 14 Fantasy Football. Do you want to, Jeff? I don't want to.
Man.
This sucks, man.
and all right. It's time to, I'm
okay. The last 2 years we've done this podcast, and we've lost first round. You've lost first round already.
Yeah.
I went up against Amari Cooper. I had the win wrapped up, and now I'm sitting here hoping Kirk Cousins scores 17.8. Otherwise, and it's not looking good right now. 17.8. Freaking Josh Johnson scored 17.8 in a quarter and a half, maybe 2 quarters. I don't even know how much he played. Kirk Cousins needs to do that. Or it could be your quarterback last night.
Yeah, so I played golf and got negative. And whatever.
Fantasy football's rough,
yeah,
man.
I made decisions. I stick by them. And you know what the worst part of this is? I don't know if anyone else has this issue. If you're really into it and you have multiple leagues, even if you don't, you understand this pain. But this league that Craig has dominated, and
I was going for Title 6.
Yeah, and
I need that title.
And I'm turning into the Dan Marino of this league, where Craig is actually the only one that puts me to shame. He's been in the playoffs 9 out of 9 years, and I've been in it 7 out of 9, and I don't have a title yet. And I'm losing my freaking mind because every time I get into this position, something terrible happens to me. And it happened again. And
injuries killed you this year too.
They did this year, but still. And
then your quarterback.
I won for my other 2. I made, the 3 major leagues. I made 3 playoffs. I won 2, but the one I really wanted, I'm out. And it's killing me.
It's rough, man.
Negative quarterback.
And it went right for you as Mahomes only scored 24.8.
Yeah, I thought it was actually going to be even better. Anyone that played Mahomes, you actually had a shot because he didn't kill you, but he could have easily went for 13 if it wasn't for that 4th down conversion to Tyreek Hill.
But Gronk returned.
Gronk did. Edelman, well, Brady returned, right? I mean, Edelman had a touchdown. I played him. Gronk had a touch. Pretty much everyone I played just killed me. On the other hand, if we're getting into kind of a recap here, how about Derrick Henry, who was on the person you're playing's bench?
So I guess I feel good in that way because he didn't play him. So maybe I should.
Yeah, I don't know how happy you can feel. Like if he played him, that would have been more of a stroke of luck than genius.
But then I still would have been sitting there yesterday thinking I have a really good chance. I'm going to win this. And then Amari Cooper would have happened.
Yeah, and I think he is.
Oh my God!
People probably played him, so he is the big story.
7:46 left in the 4th. He scores his first touchdown. 7:46 left in the 4th. Even at that point, I'm like, okay, got the win. I don't know if anybody else has ESPN Plus. So if you have ESPN Plus, you can look on the thing on the ESPN page. It shows you win percentage chance. I'm at 99.9. 99.9% of the time at that point I would win. If you played it that many times. That first touchdown dropped me down to 99.5. I even said, oh, geez, I don't like that, 99.5. And then the second touchdown drops it to like 80. Then I got back up to like 82, 83. And then that last freaking touchdown.
I know. You know what I worried about this whole episode? I vented a lot yesterday, so I get it out of my system. I was very angry, a wreck. But if I got started talking about this week, I was really afraid that we're going to have to like bleep everything out because I was going to start swearing. But I do have to say, this game right here is taking my mind off it a little bit. At least I can watch your anguish. I'm hoping that if you win, it's not until the end because I just don't want to see your happiness for a while because I have to just sit with it that I have to wait a whole nother year like so many other people doing. And if you're listening and you've already lost, my sympathy. I really want to know what decisions you could have, like, everyone always says that, like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. But if anyone really made a decision last moment or between 2 and it cost them the week, those are the decisions that I would love to hear about.
I don't even want to talk about it. Did you see this video I got sent to you?
Yeah, so, oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to start cursing. So, So
I got the game on in the background too.
So the guy who beat me, he limped into the playoffs.
6 and 7
Yeah.
limped into the play, right?
Yeah, completely limped. It was tie. He won tiebreakers, whatever it was. Completely limped. He put on a team that did the best they possibly could have. He had Mahomes. That was really the only thing keeping him alive. And even better, I was like, okay, you know what? Goff can still do it. Half the time, he put up the kind of numbers I needed for him to win. Half the time. And he goes to Chicago. My buddy lives in Chicago. And he actually got tickets. So I was like, okay, if I win, this is going to be the greatest thing of all time. Instead, I'm just getting a video at the end of him drinking and being merry and having the greatest night of his life, pulling off the victory over me. And I tell you, a little me was like, good for you. Like, rub it in, like, talk that. No, I mean, like, that's the way that winners should go in fantasy. But the other part of me wanted to put my head in a blender.
Vikings had to punt again.
I like looked up and Craig is not paying attention to me at all.
Cousins is chased back and he had to throw it away on 3rd and 2. How about George Kittle? Something that doesn't matter to us.
Yeah,
for this
dude.
week.
I mean,
great game.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just goes towards the idea that he is going to be in that
It's
next crop.
It's Kelsey, Ertz, Kittle.
Oh yeah,
Gronk.
100%.
I mean, came back a little bit, but Gronk's still Gronk. He's slowing down.
How much more do you think he's going to play? And do you really think that he's going to be that elite guy? Yeah. He doesn't want to.
Kittle's going to be like my number 3 tight end next year.
Yeah, he will be mine too. And I think him and Ertz are very close. I think Kelsey is on a league of his own.
Juju had another great game.
He did. And Antonio Brown. Not near as much.
Yeah, Juju's had a lot of those games this year.
He is overshadowing him every once in a while.
Zeke played great, like he has been. Julio played great. 8 for 106 and 2 touchdowns. Where'd that come from? 2 touchdowns, not just 1, but 2 actually pulled that off. It's a solid game there. Saquon up there again, but his team got up so much that they didn't have to do much with him at the end.
Yeah, which is actually great because you actually might get penalized for him doing too well.
I did.
But yeah, I mean, okay, and once again, we made our rankings, right? And he was number 2
for next year? Yeah.
Number 2 behind Gurley, and I mean, just showing why that guy is special. He is unbelievable. McCaffrey, another good game.
Yeah.
Zeke. How about, okay, not that it had that much of a ramification for fantasy, but how about the ending of that Miami game? Oh my gosh. Like how sick I feel. Like,
that's what I feel like I need now to win tonight.
Yeah.
I need that to happen again. I really don't. That's what John had to have happen against me. Is basically that, even though they didn't have those players.
They had it wrapped up. They're going to go to the playoffs. And even better is like they put Gronk as the safety and you can see him stumble. And that I'm almost a little scared though, because I feel like this is going to be the kick that the Patriots need to be like, I mean, do you think that this is just indicative of the Patriots, like not falling off, obviously they're an insanely good team, but maybe just a little off their edge from being so good for so long? Or do you think, or getting older too?
Why did they have Gronk in there? They were going to throw a Hail Mary.
That's what I was wondering.
It didn't make sense.
I mean, maybe they thought that, but even if it was,
it's too long of it's not going to work.
I mean, he's a big body, but
they weren't going to be able to throw that far.
Yeah, I feel like there was other guys you can put in there. And then, yeah, I love how he stumbled. That was actually hilarious. And then to go down it, McCaffrey, number 3, he's been killing it unbelievably. And Joe Mixon, number 4, as far as a running back, a great game against the Chargers. 26 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, he is. He's really starting to get back into the swing of things, and he's about to go against Oakland and then Cleveland. If you have him, it's looking pretty good right now.
Well, and then after Zeke at 5, you got Brandon Bolden.
Yeah, and that's a Miami game.
2 for 60 and 2 touchdowns.
That was just amazing. Can you imagine if you actually, for some unknown reason, you're in a deep league and you played?
I didn't even know Brandon Bolden was on Miami.
I didn't.
When I first saw the touchdown, I saw this touchdown come across on the Gamecast. And it said whatever 58, 59-yard touchdown run from Brandon Bolden. So I kept clicking New England to look at the stats for New England and see why Bolden was running the ball. I didn't even realize Bolden is not with the Patriots anymore.
No, yeah. Know what I know is that if you are playing in an ESPN league, you did not have him in, even if you're in the deepest of leagues, because he is owned in 0.0% of leagues.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Oh, man. And then Aaron Jones, right after Bolden, Aaron Jones, and hopefully, because of the new coaching system, understand that they really need to get the run going and finally get 17 carries, which ties the highest he's had, 70 yards and a touchdown. Every time he looks good, but he does hit that buzzsaw at Chicago next week, which we just saw what they did to Goff and company. And
how about Kenneth Dixon? If Kenneth Dixon did get hurt, I was going to be right on that. He would have taken that job from Alex Collins. I guarantee you that. It would have happened.
I'm not ready to go that far, but you were right on Alex Collins, without a doubt. He did not have a good year.
Because he's not good. He's not good. And I hope you guys listened to me and didn't draft him. I mean, come on.
Here's a do you think that they're going to draft a running back, or do you think that...
I think they have to.
Okay. I was going to say, do you actually think that Gus Edwards and Dixon healthy? No. Okay. I don't.
They need somebody else.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what they do in that position, because I feel like that would be a good landing spot, especially with Lamar Jackson. Hopefully they just ride him out.
Then some players didn't do good, but I don't really even care about them.
Yeah, a lot of guys kind of in the middle, right?
Gurley kind of disappointed you. First round playoffs, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it was a rough day. But I mean, even Kamara, did fine, whatever. Like there wasn't a whole lot of people that stood out. If you were really hoping that, Jaylen Samuel, he didn't disappoint, but he didn't do great. 9.2 in standard. Gurley, that was a hurtful one, 5.8, but no one did well in that game.
But if you're playing Jaylen Samuels as a tight end in Yahoo, you feel
pretty good. No, that's actually very true.
Then you feel pretty decent about it. Yeah, it's all in context.
I think I had him ranked my number 3 tight end.
Right? Yeah. Because that's so weird. He shouldn't even have that kind of eligibility. So if you were in a PPR, think about this. If you were in a PPR league on Yahoo and played him at tight end, he would have had about 16.2 as a tight end in a PPR league on Yahoo. So then you're feeling great.
Yeah, I wonder, what does that rank him? I don't have the PPR up in front of me.
I got him up right here. That would put him, let's see where he is PPR wise. That would have been 16. Actually, this was a good tight end week for PPR, but that would have put him at 7th for the week. Because you had Ian Thomas up there, 9 for 77 for the Carolina Panthers, which was kind of I will say I did play him in a league.
Oh, nice.
But it's a league that I've been just going through the bottom of the barrel on tight ends.
And can we talk about how, I don't wish injury on anyone, but if Ertz does get traded or not signed or anything, how good Dallas Goedert is going to be on Philly. And he even got one called back that I thought was really ticky-tacky. He took it to the house.
Yeah, that really
crazy.
was. I don't think that was there's no way.
No, that should have been a bad call.
I don't even.
Dude, I know this is I apologize.
I'm watching this game. I mean, this is rough, man.
Oh, and actually, I want to know who actually played Jarvis Landry, too, because he's a big enough name, he might have, and he actually pulled it off.
I told people not to play him. Now I'm way away from the mic. I'm just, I can't do this.
But 21.1, I mean, the week before, 100 yards, 10, and we're kind of like, that's probably not going to happen. 4 games before that, he had 5 or less. I mean, really, he has had a very substandard year on Cleveland, and he just, it wasn't even a lot. I mean, 3, it was only 3 receptions, but he got it done, and they gave him 2 carries, and that's really what the big difference was. I mean, he took it to the house. He had 54 yards on those 2, and they even tried to throw with him one time where it was just a little outside of what Chubb could pull down, but they really tried to get him incorporated finally.
I was just looking randomly. What about Josh Allen running for 100 yards again?
Yeah, every time I say that's not sustainable, also I wouldn't play. I mean, coming from the guy that played golf, so whatever. But
there's only 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's all like Twilight scoring. Like at the end of each half, that's when you're going to get your touchdown. And as soon as you get one, then it'll give you a lot of. Actually, I can't. I just want to make this go long enough so I can watch.
They don't even
have the happiness suck out of your face.
They don't even have the ball. This is bad, man. I mean, 17.7 shouldn't be that hard. This is 6-point scoring touchdown league too. This isn't 4-point. I mean, you'd be here 4-point maybe a little harder, but I mean, come on, I can't do this. All right, anybody else? Who else did good? Any other wide receivers? We'll go look at wide receivers.
Yeah, there was a bunch.
Mark
actually
Cooper had an okay game.
Juju, Julio did great again.
T.Y. Hilton again. He's had a pretty good stretch here of games. Last week was still 8 for 77. Wasn't amazing, but he's getting catches, and these last 4 have been really good. he's definitely helping some teams right now.
And and the next 4 guys was it 4 or 5? 5 are the ones that kind of surprised me. And they didn't really light your hair on fire, but we're talking about around 15 points, a little more, 15 to 20. But the first 3, even Cooper. I didn't see 39, but you're like every once in a while. But Jarvis coming up, then Ty, but then Kenny Stills, D.D. Westbrook, Jamison Crowder, and Julian Edelman. And you're like, oh, okay, Edelman every once in a while. But, Stills, Westbrook, and Crowder, did anyone see those guys being in the top 10?
Crowder's he's been injured forever. Didn't really do anything while he was out there before, and then he really didn't do much today. So just got touched.
Right. That's true. It was only 2 catches, but with the backup, that obviously they pulled off the Dogs early, and that was with the Giants, who have been terrible.
Yeah.
It was all over the place. We have Isaiah McKenzie from Buffalo that is, in the top 20. That was in double digits. Robbie Anderson, which, not that crazy, but Zach Pascal of Indianapolis. There was some parity in here. I don't know if a whole lot of people were playing these guys, but there were some options out there. Dante Pettis, who I did play. Not that it helped me at the end because of Goff, but still.
Yeah.
Did anyone stick out as far as disappointing you?
Amari Cooper. He made me disappointed. Is that...
He hurt your feelings.
He made my day very poor. I don't say that much. Can't even. Antonio Brown. Think about this. If you somehow pulled off a team where you had Gurley and Antonio Brown and Drew Brees, this week would have sucked. Brees got you about 15. Gurley got 5, and Brown got 3.5 in standard.
Yeah.
Would have been rough.
Oh, and what if you had Brandon Cooks as well, which is definitely a possibility. Like, there was a lot of people that just tanked.
So maybe I shouldn't feel as bad.
No,
but I still do.
You could have put together a super team and got just freaking, to the back of the head.
Why can't... Oh, my God. Let's just score, Seattle. Get the ball back. Okay. It's going to have to come in the second half. For Cousins here.
And the last thing that we should talk about is defenses.
Yeah.
So
the Bears did great. The top 2 defenses on this week are players that were on our bench, Jeff.
I know. It actually cost me dearly.
I didn't think the Bears would be that good against the Rams.
Yeah, well, obviously I didn't either.
I didn't.
Because I thought Goff would be better. And I thought Lions were a good play, but I honestly thought I thought Patriots were a better one. I thought they had a better opportunity to make them pay. I thought Lions was going to be a low-scoring game. They're the ones who got the TD. But, there were some defenses that could have made the difference, right? We have, 8 teams that went double digits?
Yeah.
That's no small thing. And just listing them off, the Jets did it against Buffalo.
Also on my bench.
Titans did it against Jacksonville. Well, we don't know this for sure, but Seahawks are doing it currently against Minnesota.
And they're probably going to just add to it.
Right. And then we got the Rams going against Chicago. So basically, if you played, I feel like this is craps where you're playing against the table. Like anything bizarre in that game, you did well, but if it was anything of value, that sucked. Then Packers against Atlanta, which I'll be honest, I did not see that one coming. That would have been one I didn't call. Giants against Washington, that was a good play, and they turned off well. And the Bears keep rolling against the Rams. It doesn't matter who they play. You should play them no matter what, which I did tell you that. But to be fair, your logic was pretty sound.
I would have won.
No, you still might win, big guy. You still might win.
I would have right now be up by points.
Yeah. By points?
By 2 or 3 points. I'd be up if I played the Bears. I'd already won.
All right, so let me ask you this.
I could sustain a Cousins interception. 4 for 8, 27 yards in the first half.
Before we just go off to the Cousins watch, was there any big takeaways besides for Amari Cooper having a glorious game? Is there any takeaways that were actually important to kind of register as far as going into the second week of the playoffs?
Drew Brees isn't maybe the
bulletproof.
Yeah, he 2 weeks in a row against defenses that this week a defense that shouldn't have shut him down. So that's a little bit of a worry. I honestly think Drew Brees is a little bit of a worry there. I wouldn't feel terribly comfortable with him. So when John plays him next week, I hope he scores 0. Because he's oh God, I can't do this, Jeff.
I have to ask if I can even find him because he's gonna be on another page because he actually went negative. So that's funny. I was going by points. That's not something you should do when you're trying to look up Goff. But Goff has had 2 very. Obviously, this week is going to go down as one of the worst ever.
He's been bad 2
weeks in a row, right?
He's another one I'd feel a little nervous about.
I mean, we've seen this, though. They bounce back, right? Even Brady, he had a bunch of bad games in a row. He bounced back. Luck is a big one. He didn't have a good game. He bounced back in a big way. Do you think that Goff can bounce back, or do you think that you would legitimately look for a different quarterback if somehow you survive that, or you didn't play him?
I think he'll be fine. He'll be at home. He's been away for 2 weeks in a row. Flying across country. Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I look at they just did look at Philly just allowed Cooper to do. I think Goff will be fine. I wouldn't be too worried about it. But yeah, I'd be okay I'd play him if I had a chance.
Yeah, if I had a chance, yeah.
All right. I don't have much more, Jeff.
No, I think you know what? Just feel our pain.
20 minutes.
I was gonna say, I was like, we need to get Craig to watch this game so he can start concentrating. But yeah, anyway.
All right. I think it's the end of the first half. And Cousins has 1.1. So I need another 16.7. So and a half.
So congratulations to the people moving on.
Yeah.
And if you feel Craig's pain, go ahead and shoot us a tweet or something. But hopefully you guys did well. Hopefully you're not feeling as much pain as me and Craig are at the moment. And we will talk to you guys next time.
All right.